Hi everyone, welcome back. Mrs. Venti here. Today we are looking at equations example 10, the nature of the roots. If you haven't watched the previous video on the explanation on the nature of the roots, go ahead and do that. But in example 10, we are going to answer these three questions. So question A says, without solving the equation, so they don't actually want to know the value of x. They just want us to discuss the nature of the roots of this quadratic equation. This means that you are going to use delta, and you are going to say that delta, okay, we're writing in purple, delta is equal to b squared minus 4ac. This is question A. Now we are going to substitute, and you know that the values here, this is A, this is B, and that's C. So let's substitute. This means that it is 8 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 2. So 8 squared is 64, minus and minus is plus. 4 times 3 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24. Add those up, that's 8, and that's 8. Now let us discuss the nature of the roots. First thing I know is that x is greater than 0. Because this is a positive answer, I know that this is a real root. Next up, I know that 88 is not a perfect square. Okay, so not a perfect square. So this means that because it's not a perfect square, it is a irrational and unequal root. So my conclusion on this is a real, irrational and unequal root or roots. Okay, there you go. That is how you answer question A. Let's look at question B. Show that the roots of the equation are real, rational, and unequal. Okay, so let's write the equation here. This is question B. The equation says x, open bracket, 6x minus 7m, close bracket, equals 5m squared. Let's fix that. It equals 5m squared. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply that out. That becomes 6x squared minus 7mx, and I'm going to take this over to say minus 5m squared, and that is equal to 0. Now that I've done that, I can now name, and I can say a equals 6, b equals negative 7, c equals negative 5. Now I can use my delta. It's equal to b squared minus 4ac, which is negative 7 squared, minus 4 times 6 times negative 5. So that becomes 49, minus and minus is plus. 4 times 5 is 20, and then 20 times 6 is going to be 120. All right. I think I'm supposed to include the m's. It kind of doesn't matter. M, so this becomes m squared and m squared, which means that I end up with a value of 961 m squared. Okay, 169 m squared. So now the question says show that it is real. Okay, so is this real? Yes. X is greater than 0, therefore it is real. Is it rational? So for it to be rational, it needs to be a perfect square. 169 is a perfect square. So have a look here. The square root of 169 is 13, so it is a perfect square. Okay, so x is a perfect square, and therefore it is rational. And then the last thing that they want us to say, is it unequal? Yes, it is unequal. X is not equal to 0, therefore unequal roots. And therefore you have proven exactly what they've asked. Okay, our last question is they're saying if this equation has equal roots, determine the values of P. So for them to have equal roots means that in the delta equation, x equals 0. That's what equal roots means. So let's go ahead and do this real quickly. The equation for C is P x squared plus x equals -9. P does not equal 0. What is the value of P? Okay, let's go ahead and do this quickly. First thing, we're going to expand the brackets and we're going to say px squared plus px plus 9 is equal to 0. Now that I have it in that formula, I can go ahead and I can do delta is b squared minus 4ac, which is p squared minus 4 times p times 9. And they already told me that it is equal roots. Equal roots means delta equals 0. So I can now input here that this is equal to 0. All right, now that I know that delta is equal to 0, I can expand and I can say, okay, 0 is equal to p squared minus, not equal, minus 4 times 9 is 36p. Okay. I want to solve for p. I want the answer for p, so I'm going to factorize p out. So 0 is equal to p times p minus 36. And because it's equal to 0, I can have two branches. I can say p equals 0 or p minus 36 equals 0. So p equals 0 or p is equal to 36. Those are the two options. However, this statement here says very clearly, and this is one of the ways that they catch you. They say p is not equal to 0. So I can say not possible, p may not equal 0, therefore p is only equal to 36. That's how we answer example 10's questions. So I hope you understand how to do the nature of the roots. I'm going to continue with the examples and then hopefully I can come back and do exercises. If you have questions, send me a message. You can text me on YouTube. Otherwise, you've got my number. Good luck. Bye, everyone.